What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at this brand new 2020 Chevrolet Camaro 1LT Coupe with the RedLine Edition package. Huge shout out and thank you to Randy Marion Chevrolet. They're providing this Camaro for today's video. Definitely check out the link to their website down in the description below. They have a huge selection of all the brand new 2020s and are getting the 2021s in stock. So let's check out this V6 Camaro. And the model that we're looking at today is finished off in jet black and has an MSRP at $37,000. Underneath the hood, this features a 3.6 liter V6 engine, cranking out 335 horsepower and 284 pound-feet of torque. The engine is paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission and sends the power to the rear wheels. And with a curb weight coming in at 3,400 pounds and a 19-gallon fuel tank, you can expect to get 19 miles per gallon in the city and 29 out on the highway. The overall length is 188.3 inches with a wheelbase at 110.7. The width is 74.7 with an overall height at 53.1 inches. And then the V6 Camaro comes standard with ventilated disc brakes in all four corners. This RedLine edition also features the optional Brembo brakes for the front calipers. They're 4-piston calipers with a 13.6-inch rotor. And the rears measure in at 12.4. Taking a look at the front end design now, the new Camaro has a very aggressive design. I love how you get the gloss black splitter in the lower portion of the front bumper. It protrudes outward and to each side to really help give this a wide appearance. We also have red accents all throughout the car, which you'll notice. You can see the pieces in the lower grille that have a really angular design. We get large mesh in the upper and lower grille with a blacked out Chevy bow tie and the RS logo over on the right side. And then LED daytime running lights within these LED headlights have a very nice design leading their way into the center of the grille. And then at the farthest ends of the bumper, there's a functional air inlet to allow air to go into the bumper and out around the front wheels. And the front bumper wraps around the front very nicely, leading its way to the hood with sharp body lines all integrated to really give the front end of the Camaro an aggressive design. And then moving to the side profile, this has that classic Camaro proportions with really nice angles all around and a super sporty design. This features a set of 20-inch wheels finished off in gloss black, and they even have a gloss red stripe on them, giving it a nice accent, and it blends very well with the red Brembo brakes. On the front fenders, you'll also notice the Camaro logo all blacked out with red trim around it and the American flag colors right in the M. There's a body line above that going through the side doors and into the rear fenders, and then another sharp body line in the lower portion of these doors. The side mirrors are also finished off in gloss black, and they feature a red accent that says RedLine, and we get body colored door handles as well. And then moving to the back, this has wide rear fender arches to add to the aggression for the rear design, and the roofline slopes very nicely into the rear end. And then moving to the rear end, we have the new LED taillights. They are 3-dimensional and finished off with clear lenses. We also get a satin black vinyl decal in the center with a blacked out Chevrolet logo. And then on the top of the trunk, we have a lip spoiler all integrated, which adds just enough flair. And then moving to the rear bumper, there's a sharp line in the entire center of it, as well as the standard rear view backup camera. We have an RS logo over on the left, and then a satin black rear diffuser with your dual quad-tipped exhaust. So there's a good look at the exterior of the 2020 LT1 Camaro with the RedLine Edition package. Really cool design with these subtle red accents all around. Comment down below, what do you guys think of this generation Chevrolet Camaro? I think it has a lot of really cool design aspects. So now we have the smart key. If I go ahead and lock the car, and then I can double tap on the edge of the start button, we can automatically fire it up. A V6 roars to life, and then now to go ahead and take a look at the interior, we can tap that button again, and all I have to do is go up to the door handle and press the button, automatically unlocks, and we can get a great view at this interior. This interior is finished off in black, and as you would expect, it has a lot of red accents all throughout. If we go ahead and start up with this door panel now, finished in black, and we have some black leather and contrast stitching along this armrest with some nice padding. We get a really nice piece of red leather and red stitching right by the door handle. Then we have your automatic windows, your mirror controls, an aluminum grab handle and lock and unlock, part of the Bose audio system, as well as a trunk release, and then a little bit of storage in the back side. As we move inside, we have Camaro on the door sill. We have Camaro on the floor mats as well with red trim all around. And then this has cloth bucket seats with color contrast stitching and power controls on the lower side. One thing I really like, we get red seat belts, which adds a really nice design. Then we can see the two-tone within the seats with the contrast, then all the way up to the stitching on the headrest, and then flipping around to the black leather steering wheel with contrast stitching. And then now inside the car, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauges now, we have the speedometer over on the right side with your tach on the left and temperature and gas up in the top. And then we have a digital display right in the center that is controlled with this touch panel over here. I can scroll left and right here to see different items. In this info icon, I can scroll down from your digital speedometer, your trip information, trip B, and then your range. We have the oil life and then other settings within the car, which is a really good touch to see in the car. And then we also have your gear over on the bottom as well as driving mode. Then to control that, we have the mode icon right here, tapping this up and down. All the way up top, we have a touring mode, and then we have a sport mode, and then a more conservative mode for snow and ice. Along the steering wheel, we have all your cruise control settings over on the left side with favorites on this bottom. We have your volume controller, then the settings right here, and Bluetooth controls. This car features steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. They have a really cool design to them, and they're a few inches in length. We have your turn signal stalk on the left with headlight controls and your wipers on the right. And then on the far left side, we have one of the air vents, and you just twist it all the way to close the vent, and we have a nice trim piece around that. Really aggressive design on the top of these gauges with more of this aluminum accent. Then as we make our way to the dashboard, you can see some black leather trim with color contrast stitching. Then the whole touchscreen display right here. We have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Going to the left, we can have a few different screens on it. Then if we continue scrolling, we have your climate control that you can go into and control everything right on the screen. And then back in the home, if we go back to the center right here, we can go into settings and change a lot of different items within the car. You can very easily scroll through everything, go under your apps, and then go under your vehicle as well. And then below that, we have some physical buttons. We have the same home menu, shortcuts over on this left, volume and on off, and then a back button as well. And then all of your physical climate controls are down here. I really like how these two air vents are actually your controllers. You can rotate the bezel for your temperature, and you can see the LCD screen change as well. Then over on the right side, we have your fan speed and a matching LCD screen. Then we have your recirc and AC, the on-off, and then your different zones, and then defrost is in the center. We have your gear selector right in the center, finished off with leather and stitching, really nice leather shift boot, and then all of your different drive controls. Going all the way down into drive, we can bump this over into manual mode, or using the paddle shifters. And then going back into reverse now, the backup camera automatically pops up, and you can see the guidelines in that as well. And going ahead, putting in park. We have some more red accents all around, which has a really cool design, and then some aluminum accents as well. We have a 12-volt over on the right side with an electronic park and brake and traction control. And then taking a look at this armrest now, we have contrast stitching and black leather. Opening that up, we have a pretty good amount of space in there, can fit maybe a wallet or two. And then we have two cup holders over on this right side. And then moving to the dash over here, we can take a look at the glove box. Have a pretty good amount of space in there, as you would expect. And then a really good look at this interior. Very sporty. I love the red accents. Got a lot of sharp contours and lines all around. Definitely a very nice and premium design. Then making our way up top, we have a frameless mirror, very sleek looking, and then your dome lights. And then to take a look at the rear seat space, we can grab this handle on the top of the front seat and pull it forward, and then you can slide it forward as well. You can see we have a little bit of footroom right here, a cubby spot as well, and then the red seat belts carry its way to the back, and we have some contrast as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop on inside. It is a little bit of a tight squeeze. Obviously a Camaro isn't exactly designed to be a family vehicle, but we are in here now. Headroom, of course, is a little compromised. You don't really have too much. You gotta kinda squat down a little bit. If I put this seat back, I do have it slid forward a few inches. My knees do have clearance right now, and I could probably afford to slide this back another inch. So it'd be a little cramped for the driver, but again, you're not buying this car to always use these rear seats. You do have an armrest and a little window back here, so it's not the worst thing in the world. And then of course we can just pull this and go ahead and hop out. And then to take a look at the trunk space, you can use the button on the door, the button on the key fob, or there is a convenient button right here. Go ahead and press that and this pops open. We can take a look at what kind of space we have in here. Pretty decent size for being a two-doored car. You don't really have any extra space over on the farthest sides, but for what this car is, definitely pretty practical. So we are now setting off in the V6 Camaro. I'm just in the normal touring mode. We're gonna get our bearings with it right now. First off, as far as visibility goes, I like the Camaro a lot. I like how hunkered down it feels. You have these very low windows, and it just gives you that sense that you're in something pretty cool. You have a really good view out the front. You can see all these crazy contours within the dash and all on the hood. So it just really adds to that aggression that a Camaro is. And then side windows are really large. You have really good visibility. Having the mirrors all adjusted properly, looking in the mirrors, it actually looks really good. You have a really good view. And then left and right shoulder, when you look over it, it's a little bit tight back there. Over your left shoulder, that window is pretty small, so you really don't see much. And then over your right, that C-pillar is pretty large as well. But if you have your mirrors adjusted properly, it's really no big deal. So now we're gonna put it into manual and go down into the sport mode. We'll just give it a little bit of an acceleration using the paddle shifters. definitely going to be the better one for the performance, that kind of driving, but this one is pretty quick shifting. We're back into touring mode right now, and when you're in this mode, it's very comfortable and quiet. The suspension is doing a really good job absorbing all of the bumps. The seats are really comfortable too. I really like just the cushioning in them, and then the bolsters do a really good job for lateral grip, and then armrests are in a really good spot. I do notice the steering wheel is really small, so I like just the feel of this, and you got a nice flat bottom design as well. So I like the overall interior, the creature comforts, things like that. The screen, you really don't have any buttons in this Camaro, so I like how Chevy has done a good job simplifying the car, just making it very normal and very user-friendly. There's not too many crazy things going on. They have a lot of cool angles and contours. I love the red accents. I love red, so to me it looks really cool. But now we're gonna do another acceleration just in automatic normal mode. Throttle response off the line is pretty good. Nothing too crazy being a new car. It has a nice tone to it, I will say. For the V6, it actually sounds nice and aggressive. Again, it's not trying to be the V8 or anything crazy fast or performance oriented, but for what it is, being a very affordable sporty car, you know, it has a lot of good characteristics, and the sound of it, you know, it's nice and sporty. When I do go into sport mode though, I do hear a little bit more sounds. Definitely a little bit more aggressive. I wouldn't say it's the fastest car. It doesn't throw you back in your seat. Of course, I'm not flooring it and full throttling it being a new car, but it's peppy enough. You know, it'll get you up to speed and things like that. And it seems to have a really good balance. When I do a downshift hitting the brakes, the shifting is pretty quick. Not as quick as a dual clutch or other automatics, but pretty quick. And then coming into, got a little twisty turn right here, hitting the brakes. The Brembos do a really good job. Handling is really nice and nimble too, actually. Taking these sharp turns. Steering is really good, the input's really nice. So I will say, for a good blend of what can be a fantastic daily driver and then also a good sports car, I think the V6 Camaro, especially with it being an RS and then having this RedLine package, I think that adds a lot of the fun factor and character to the car. But overall, pretty comfortable car. I think a really good blend, really good affordable price point, and a lot of good creature comforts and nice amenities. But I think that's about it for the V6 Camaro. Comment down below, would you opt for this, the 4-cylinder, or stick with the SS with the V8? But that is it for today's video. Once again, a huge shout out and thank you to Randy Marion Chevrolet for providing this Camaro for today's video. Check out their website down in the description below. They have a huge selection of all the brand new Camaros and all the other Chevrolet vehicles. But that is it, guys. I'll see you next video.